Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another edition of VGU Talks. I'm VX Protocols from VideoGamesUncovered.com, and let's talk games. So you want to know what game I'm playing at the moment? I'm playing Destiny. I think it's great. I pre-ordered it ages ago, and I've played it in the alpha and the beta, cemented my purchase, and I picked it up the other day, and I've fallen in love with it. I think it's really good. So, why is it that when I think it's really good, I've had quite a few people on the Destiny side and on this other game side, as well as people that play both, that have been coming at me saying that Destiny isn't worth it because it plays exactly like Warframe. I don't get it. I really don't. And in this video, I'm going to explain why I don't see the similarity between Destiny and Warframe. So first things first, let's cover Warframe. Warframe, it's a third-person hack and slash adventure game having you play as the cyborg ninja known as the Tenno, who has the power to equip many different warframes, many different weapons, many different melee weapons as well, which I really dig, and allows you to be a ninja in this futuristic cybernetic universe where you're fighting against the Grineer, the Corpus, and the Infested, as you're just trying to explore all the planets, completing many different missions, gaining the intel and resources that you need to become the ultimate Tenno. And the trick about it is, it's completely free to play. So with that in mind, the entire game is built around a free to play market. It's catered to everyone, so you can just jump in, play the game for 10 hours, 12 hours, 200 hours, and not spend a single penny. That's really good. And for the fact that the game is now out on PC, PS4 and Xbox One, it's graphically demanding, but the game is really friggin' solid. And if you haven't tried it out yet, I heavily suggest you do. You may just fall in love with it. If that's Warframe, what's Destiny, in case you don't know what Destiny is? Destiny is a AAA FPS release title done by the legends simply known as Bungie. You may remember those as the legendary developers behind the Halo series. Now with Destiny and Warframe, yes, I know there are similarities. One thing, for example, that a lot of people have been saying is that the defense missions in Warframe feel very similar to moments in Destiny where you have to defend your ghost as your ghost is going about and scanning things. And the thing that puzzles me about all this is the matter of we can't have defense missions anymore. Defense missions have been in video games for a very long time. Warframe have defense missions, yes, and in Warframe the defense missions are done in such a way so that the thing you are defending has a shield and health bar. If that thing drops at any time, you lose. Regardless of what wave you're on, if that thing dies, you lose and you get nothing from it. You're also able to take the defense mission as far as you possibly want. So let's say, for example, we go onto Venus, we find a defense mission on Venus. We can go from wave 1 to wave 300 if we want to, and we can just do it. Of course, when you hit wave 300, you'll be hitting enemies that are at such a high level that you'll either need very powerful weapons, very powerful mods, or just a lot of friggin' skill with a full 4-man team that are also built for the situation to get you that high. And you may be thinking to yourself, what's the reward if I get that high? The reward being leaderboards, gratification and self-bragging rights, and also being able to pick up some of the rarest equipment you could potentially get, just because when you're at those high levels, the game just goes, okay, everything you want is now here. Rare drops for everybody. Now the trick with Destiny is that yes, there are defense mission equivalents. Whilst you send your ghost out to scan certain things, you're now there defending your ghost, fighting against one of the many factions there, whether it be the Vex, the Fallen, the Hive, could be anyone. But the biggest difference is simple. Whilst in Warframe, what you have to defend has its own health bar, so if that dies, you lose. In Destiny, it's a matter of, whilst the ghost is doing its thing, all the enemies are aggroed to one thing: you and your fire team. If you and your entire fire team die, that's over. It's done. Enough said. Especially if you are in a darkness zone. And in these darkness zones, you can't respawn if you die. With that in mind, both defense missions are crafted in completely different ways for two completely different playstyles and two completely different titles and markets. So, in my opinion, they're completely different. They play completely different as well. The fact that Destiny is in the first person view makes it so that you have to be incredibly precise with each and every one of your shots. That doesn't mean that in Warframe you can't be precise, because in Warframe you very much can be. But with the third person view, it gives you a heck of a lot more freedom around the areas that you explore in. Whilst in a first person view, you're going to be spending a lot of time going down against cover, recovering yourself, or going against cover just to see what's fighting behind you, and then popping out, taking out certain targets, moving from one piece of cover to another. In Warframe, cover is never used unless you are very desperate and in need of recovering your health and shields. So to that extent, you'll be running around most of the time with your guns, with your melee weapons, firing them, slashing enemies left, right and center, because you're a friggin' ninja. You're doing flips over them, you're jumping over them, you're doing this, that and everything. In Destiny, if you were doing one of the big forward flips that you can do in Warframe, the camera would be fighting you half the time, and it would be terrible for games design. It would be terrible. As soon as you do one of those forward flips in first person view, your orientation is screwed. And as soon as you come out of it, you just think to yourself, well, 1, it looked terrible, 2, I now feel terrible, and 3, I'm now right in some enemy's face with a gun that's going to shoot me dead on and kill me. There's a lot of factors that come in when it involves Destiny and Warframe. In my own personal opinion, those are the only 2 big things that I can see. Of course, there are other situations, such as the planets that you visit, and this, that, and the other, but let's face it, you're visiting the same planets because you're in the same solar system. In Warframe, they have different planets, because they created those planets because it's based in a future environment. They took inspiration from our solar system and increased on it, and they boosted it. And that's exactly what Destiny did. Sure, Destiny doesn't have nearly as many planets yet, because it could get bigger, but it doesn't nearly have as many planets as Warframe. But it has still taken inspiration from our solar system and has built up on it, giving us access to areas that are unique to Destiny. So do I think that Destiny feels and plays exactly like Warframe? No, I think Warframe is its own title and deserves its own praise. I think Destiny is also its own title and deserves its own praise. I think Destiny is a really good game. Not Game of the Year worthy, and I'll explain that in a new video, I'm sure I will, but it is a great game. Same with Warframe. The fact that Warframe's now came out for Xbox One shows it's a great game, and shows that there are many people out there that want to be and unleash their inner ninja, because ninjas play for free. But for anyone that's out there that thinks that Warframe and Destiny are basically the same game with different orientations, don't think that. In my own personal opinion, I don't think you should think like that. I think you should appreciate that Warframe plays as Warframe and Destiny plays as Destiny. If you're not satisfied with your purchase of Destiny, by all means, that's your opinion. I'm not here to say that your purchase is a good purchase. By all means, what I say and what you say are completely different opinions. And if you think Destiny is not worth it, okay, it's not worth it for you. You don't like it. I'm not here to say that you're wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a heated version of VGU Talks this time around. But you know what? I am very much interested. What do you guys think about Destiny versus Warframe? Do you think one game is better than the other? Do you personally think that they share so many similarities that it makes Destiny look worse? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sure there are going to be a ton of people out there with a lot of different opinions, so by all means, shoot at me. But until next time, I'll see you on another edition of VGU Talks.